Welcome back to another episode of the Scran Line. I'm Nick, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a Galaxy fault line cake. Now, fault line cakes have been around for maybe a couple of years now, and it's been done. Like, a lot of people have made them in lots and lots of different ways, but I've never seen it made in a really cool Galaxy way. So that's what I'm going to be showing you guys how to make today, and it's actually a lot of fun to put together. Before we get stuck into today's recipe, make sure you're subscribed to this channel by hitting the subscribe button and hit the little bell icon next to that so that YouTube notifies you as soon as there's a new video. So we're going to begin by making the cake. You want to add some flour, sugar, baking powder and salt into a large mixing bowl. We're going to mix that until it's well combined. Then we're going to add some butter, and using an electric hand mixer, we're going to mix that until it reaches a crumbly sand-like texture. Next, you want to add some eggs, milk, oil, vanilla extract, and some yogurt, lemon flavoring, which is optional, some teal food gel, and we're going to mix that until it's well combined. We're going to split that mixture into two bowls, and we're going to add some more teal food gel to the second bowl. You want to mix that until it's well combined. Add both your batters into two separate piping bags, and we are going to pipe that batter into our 8-inch cake tins in kind of squiggles. Once you've filled 3 8-inch cake tins with your batter, you want to pop them into the oven for about 1 hour. My cakes bake on a very low temperature, and they bake for a longer time than most other recipes because it helps prevent caramelization, and you still end up with a really delicious moist cake. Let's move on to preparing our buttercream frosting. So today I'm using my Swiss meringue buttercream frosting. You can watch the recipe video for that up there if you like. We're going to be coloring our frosting with some purple and pink food gel, and you want to mix that until it's well combined. Our cake's baked beautifully. Now you can see there's absolutely no caramelization. That's because of that low temperature. So for this cake, we're not going to end up with 6 layers like most of my other cakes. We're going to end up with 3 layers. So you want to trim the top of each cake. Add a small dab of frosting onto an 8-inch cake board. We're going to add our first layer of cake and then pipe a ring of frosting around that. Then we're going to fill that with some more frosting and spread it around with our small offset spatula. Then you want to add the next layer of cake and repeat that until you've got all 3 cake layers on top of each other. Add some more frosting on top and on the sides of your cake. You want to use a small offset spatula to spread that around as evenly and as smooth as you can. This is called the crumb coat, and it's just about trapping the crumbs in the first layer of frosting so they don't show on the final layer of frosting. Now, I'm a perfectionist, so I like to make mine look nice and neat. Once you've got that done, you want to pop it in the fridge for about 2 or 3 hours to chill really, really well. If you guys watch Yolanda Gamp, she calls this crumb coat and chill. So that's basically what we're doing today. Now, to make the Galaxy swirls on this cake, we're going to be using lots of different colored frostings that you can see on screen right now. So I'm using food gels to color these frostings. Now, the full list of ingredients and the color combinations are in the written recipe, and you can find that on my website. Let's begin by piping a very thin layer of black frosting on our chilled cake. We're going to spread that around, and that's going to form the background of our Galaxy. Now, I'm using this spatula, which I've fallen in love with lately, and I think it's really, really cool, especially if you're doing detailed work like this. It's called a small pointed end offset spatula. It's a bit of a mouthful, but I grabbed this from my local cake supply store. And we are going to be adding little dabs of the darkest green color on top of our black frosting. So creating this Galaxy, guys, is all about layers of frosting. We want to start off with the darkest layers and then go with the lightest layers of frosting. Once you've got your galaxy looking right, we are going to add some stars. So the stars are going to be some small white caviar sprinkles. Now this is the really fun part. So we're going to be encapsulating our galaxy into the fault line bit. So the way you want to do that is by adding some of the light green frosting into a piping bag. Snip off a very small end of it because we want to add a little bit of detail when we do the jagged bits in the fault line. So we want to begin at the bottom. We're going to go around the bottom of the cake, kind of adding some jagged bits as we're piping. And then you want to fill in the bottom of that. You're going to do the same thing at the top, switched around. Now, you don't want to go too up from the bottom or too down from the top, because as you go around the cake and smoothen out that frosting, it actually spreads out a little bit. So get it as close to the top and as close to the bottom as you can. Let's move on to finishing this cake. Now, I decided to make my life more difficult by adding some colored swirls on the top of the cake. Sometimes when I do this method, I really love how it looks, but while I'm editing it, I kind of curse at Past Nick for making the decision to make me sitting at my editing chair even longer. It's true. Right now I'm editing this and I'm not enjoying editing it because I decided to make the frosting more difficult. This part is optional, but it looks really great at the end. So the way that we achieve this look is by adding some different leftover colored frosting into some piping bags. Now, I know a lot of you don't like doing this method because it wastes a lot of piping bags and that's more plastic in the ocean. I've actually started using biodegradable piping bags. So that's going to put an end to those comments. We are going to pipe some colored frosting in lines on some plastic wrap. Once you've got it piped next to each other, you're going to roll it up into a log, twist both ends, and then you want to snip one end off with some scissors. You're going to place it into a large piping bag fitted with a Wilton 6B piping tip, and we are going to pipe some swirls on top of our cake. Let's finish this off with some more star caviar sprinkles. And guys, that is my super duper awesome galaxy fault line cake. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. You're going to find the recipe on my website. And guys, if you're watching this for the first time, welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with all of my latest recipes. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all on the next episode of The Scran Line.